23rd of November 2022 was the day I first moved to Japan. So today marks exactly 3 years to the day I've moved here. It's a little bit of a surreal feeling, but here I am. And I've just walked out of the house because I wanted to do this video. Oh God. That's poo. I hope that's not bear poo. I probably shouldn't be here. 3 years has gone pretty quick, but at the same time, I feel like it hasn't moved much. Nevertheless, it's a milestone. It's been a marvelous experience for me here in Japan. I'm trying to reflect on my time here. I've chosen this spot. It's probably not a very good spot as far as connotations are concerned. There's a river behind me. It's a big drop. It's a gorge, very, very quiet. And this river separates between Tomioka and Shimonita. And that bridge is Torazu Glen. Bit of a spooky bridge. If you look it up, it's a spot where apparently people take their lives from that bridge. But I'm not here because of that. I'm here because I needed somewhere where I can speak peacefully and not be interrupted by anyone. However, I'm a little bit worried. It might actually be a little bit dangerous because there has been some sighting of bears in this area. I'm just trying to be as alert as possible, so if I hear any noises, I will have to run. So I thought I'd choose today to talk about why and how I've moved to Japan. In September 2022, we came to Japan after the borders had opened up. We decided to visit Japan to visit the family, as we normally had been prior to the COVID period. We came to Japan for a holiday. I came for only 2 weeks. My family stayed on a bit longer. I went back to Australia to go back to work, and through a conversation that I had with my wife, she said, "Oh, why don't we move to Japan?" I've always wanted to experience living in Japan, and so when she asked, I just said yes. To her surprise, I said, "Let's do it now." And so without giving it too much thought, I told her to stay in Japan. I handed in my resignation. I had sold all my belongings. I hadn't told anyone. My family didn't know. And so when I told them that I was moving to Japan, it was a shock. Everyone thought something was going on, but it was simply me not giving myself enough time to think about whether it was worth it or not. My family didn't have clothes. They only had the clothes that they'd packed for holiday. My wife asked me, should I come back to Australia to help you pack? And I said, no, you stay there with the kids. At the time, we only had 3 kids. I said, I will handle it. And yeah, I sold the car, sold everything we had. And I didn't think about it because I think if I thought about it too much, I probably wouldn't come. I didn't have time to think about what I was going to do in Japan, how we were going to survive. We had some money saved up. I had a plan. I'm kind of a bit lost on how I'm meant to feel. The time's flown a lot quicker than I thought it would. I thought I'd get a lot more done. I thought I'd achieve a lot more. Some of the goals that I wanted to have, I haven't achieved. One of them was to be able to speak the language. There was no reason. The only reason was, why not? Let's do this. Let's give it 2 or 3 years so we can experience Japan, so we can be close to my wife's family, so we could allow the children to experience Japan, give me the opportunity to learn Japanese. I mean, I grew up in a mixed racial family. My mother's Indonesian, my father's Australian, and we grew up moving around a lot. until the age of 18, I moved on average every 2 years. I moved schools, I moved different countries. But one thing that was for sure in all that time that we moved around, my mother never had the opportunity to live with her parents. Both of her parents passed away when my mother was overseas. I think a lot about that, and so I knew I wanted to give my wife the opportunity to live with her parents or be close to her parents at least once in her life. The family factor was a huge factor. So on the 23rd of November 2022, I arrived in Japan, and I still remember that moment, seeing my kids after being separated for about 2 months. I remember the moment I came out of Narita Airport and I saw my kids. You know, I hated being away from them, but I felt like I'd come home. I remember the next day I said to my wife, let's buy a car. The next thing I said to my wife was, how many prefectures are there in Japan? And she said 47. And so within a week, we did a road trip. We decided to see Japan, all 47 prefectures of Japan by car, with the exception of Okinawa, which we flew to. And then we bought a house. And so that was our journey of buying our Kias. We bought and renovated 3 houses here in Japan. The 3 years have flown really, really quick. I'm at a stage where I'm wondering what I'm doing here, whether I should continue living here. I love living here. But I don't know if this is the future for me. I don't know how financially sustainable it is for me to be here. I've got to think about what's best for my family. I don't necessarily want to move back to Australia at this point in time because I'm a bit scared to move back to Australia, being so expensive. I want to try new things, but at the same time I've got a young family, and whether my eagerness to explore the world or myself is being selfish, I don't know. But yeah, that's how we decided to move to Japan. It's been an adventure. I never expected to be a stay-home dad. That's probably one of the most difficult things for me to not accept, or accept because I feel like I'm not being responsible financially. I love my role as a stay-home dad. I love it. If I had it my way, I would stay a stay-home dad. But at the same time, there's a lot of guilt in me in not being able to provide for my family. So I'm really hoping that social media is one way I can do that. I love being here in Japan. I love that we live in the countryside. But at the same time, I don't know if this is the future for me. But yeah, anyway, I better go. It's starting to get dark. 3 years for me here in Japan. Thank you for following me. Thank you for being so positive. Thank you for encouraging me. I hope to continue to share stories, my daily stories for you. Bye.